seek the truth within, for the divine mind is the source of all that is. Hermes Trismegistus. Picture a realm cloaked in shadow, where the soul hungers for a light it has yet to behold. In the faint glimmer of ancient Alexandria, amid the murmurs of vanished deities and philosophies, a sacred body of texts came to light, known as the Corpus Hermeticum. Crafted between the 1st and 3rd centuries after the Common Era, these writings bear the essence of Hermes Trismegistus, a figure shrouded in legend and insight, honored as a keeper of concealed wisdom. His name resounds through the ages, weaving together the mystic strands of Greek thought, Egyptian lore, and the elusive whispers of Gnostic belief. Far beyond a mere collection of words, the Corpus Hermeticum reveals itself as a labyrinth for the soul, an intricate guide to enlightenment, steering us through the mist of mortal deception toward the dazzling clarity of the divine. As we step onto this path, sense the weight of ancient scrolls in your grasp, the subtle aroma of aged ink and eternity lingering on each line. These teachings summon us, igniting a quest for gnosis, that hallowed understanding which rouses the spirit from its deep slumber. Their aim is clear: to shepherd the seeker through the veils of existence, from the tangible to the infinite, until the soul melds with the boundless all. Today, we uncover a sacred trail within these writings, distilled into 3 transformative steps to spiritual awakening. We shall explore how consciousness, practice, and surrender illuminate the stage of your own profound journey. Let the enigmas of the Corpus Hermeticum reveal themselves, and ponder this: are you prepared to gaze beyond the shroud? Our exploration starts with the origins of this timeless wisdom. The Corpus Hermeticum arose in an era when the world stood as a nexus of ideas. Greek thinkers wrestled with the fabric of reality, Egyptian priests safeguarded cosmic secrets, and Gnostic seekers craved escape from the confines of the physical. Amid this fusion of thought emerged Hermes Trismegistus, a name meaning thrice great, a sage who blended these currents into a rich mosaic of divine revelation. His teachings, enshrined in dialogues and reflections, speak of the soul's ascent, of discerning the flicker of divinity within. The cornerstone text, the Poemandres, unveils a vision of creation, where the mind of the divine, known as Nous, gives rise to all that exists. To encounter these words is to stand on the brink of an endless chasm, feeling the pull of a vast, unseen force. The Hermetic way is not rooted in blind devotion, but in lived experience, in seeking truth through inner sight. It merges the logical with the arcane, pressing us to challenge the world before our eyes and to sense the heartbeat of the hidden. What awakens in your spirit as you hear of this ancient knowing? Could your soul already recognize the path, awaiting only your mind's alignment? Let us take our first stride together into the realm of consciousness, where the illusion of division begins to dissolve under the gaze of divine awareness. As we delve further into the mysteries held within the Corpus Hermeticum, the initial step of spiritual awakening rises like a dawn piercing through an endless night. This step, consciousness, marks the moment when the soul starts to discern its true essence as a fragment of the divine. Within the revered dialogue of Poemandres, Hermes receives wisdom from the divine mind itself, a voice echoing with the pulse of creation. This voice unveils the human mind as far more than a vessel for thought, casting it as a shimmering reflection of the eternal Nous, the universal intellect that birthed the cosmos. To awaken to this revelation is to see past the confines of flesh and bone, to grasp that we are intertwined with the stars above and the whispering winds around us, bound within a singular, infinite harmony. Envision staring into a tranquil pool, witnessing not just your own image, but the depths of the universe gazing back. Such is the core of consciousness, the insight that the material realm is merely a delicate veil, a fleeting illusion spun by our senses to cloak a grander truth. The Corpus Hermeticum teaches that the primary obstacle to this awakening is our entanglement with the physical. Gold shines with false promise, power lures with empty whispers, and desires bind us to a relentless cycle of yearning. Yet, these are but fleeting shadows cast by a brighter flame. The text beckons us to turn inward, to probe the essence of what we perceive and feel. Are the fleeting joys and sorrows of this world the entirety of our being, or are they mere echoes of a deeper melody? As you reflect on this, imagine the burden of worldly concerns easing, if only briefly, as your inner vision begins to trace the web connecting all things. The heavens, the soil beneath your feet, even the stranger you pass, all are linked by the same sacred thread. This understanding does not strike like lightning. It seeps into the seeker like mist over a quiet valley, gentle yet reshaping everything. Through the Hermetic lens, this awakening to oneness signals the soul's first movement toward freedom. It is an invitation to perceive the divine not as a far-off power, but as the very lifeblood of your existence, flowing through every thought, every breath. This step of consciousness is essential, for without it, the journey lingers in obscurity. The Corpus Hermeticum cautions that countless souls traverse life unaware of this truth, shackled to illusions of isolation and conflict. Yet, even in its earliest teachings, the text offers solace, hinting that the divine mind sowed this seed of recognition in every heart. Some sense it as a quiet restlessness, a yearning for something beyond the ordinary. Others feel it in fleeting moments of wonder, when the world's beauty seems to murmur of concealed truths. Where do you find yourself in this awakening? Have you sensed the stirrings of a greater presence, a tug toward unity that defies the disorder of everyday existence? As we dwell in this realm of newfound perception, let these questions ripple through your spirit. Share in the comments, which illusion of the material world do you struggle most to let go of? Let us nurture this spark of consciousness as we advance, for the path now calls us to the second step, where awareness must be cultivated through dedicated practice. With the seed of consciousness taking root, the teachings of the Corpus Hermeticum lead us to the second step of spiritual awakening: practice. This is no passive state, but a dynamic shaping of the soul through deep contemplation and inner cleansing. The ancient writings speak of gnosis, a hallowed knowledge that blossoms not from scrolls or doctrines, but from the quiet depths of personal reflection. In the first book of the Corpus, the divine voice instructs Hermes to meditate on the nature of the all, that limitless unity encompassing every shard of existence. Such meditation is far from idle reverie. It demands a focused turning inward, a stripping away of the ego's noise to hear the silent whisper of eternity. Imagine yourself seated in a secluded chamber, the faint dance of a lone flame casting shadows on ancient stone as your mind unravels layers of distraction to touch the pure essence of being. This is the practice that the Hermetic path requires, a steadfast pursuit to purify the self of all that dims the divine radiance within. Cleansing, in this sacred framework, transcends mere rituals of the body, reaching into the realms of mind and spirit. The Corpus Hermeticum warns of the ego's tight hold, how it spins webs of pride, fear, and craving to anchor us in the material. To engage in practice is to loosen these bindings, to release attachments that burden the soul. It means facing anger or greed not with harsh judgment, but with quiet insight, recognizing them as passing clouds before the unending light of your true essence. This journey can be challenging, often stirring unease as hidden shadows surface to be confronted. Yet, the Hermetic wisdom assures us that through such inner work, the seeker edges closer to gnosis, that intimate knowing of the divine. Contemplation serves as a vital bridge, linking the awakened consciousness of the first step to the profound realization still ahead. As you ponder the concept of the all, feel the edges of self begin to blur, merging with the expanse of creation. This is the heartbeat of practice, a persistent return to the inner haven, time after time, until the shroud of illusion wears thin. In the days of old, this practice formed the foundation of mystery schools, where initiates devoted years to meditation and learning, striving to live the insights of Hermes Trismegistus. Even now, the call echoes with equal strength. The Corpus Hermeticum hints that amid the clamor of modern existence, we can still carve out pockets of stillness, moments to reflect on the oneness of all things. Have you ever paused to truly hear the silence within? What distractions tug most fiercely at your focus during this inner labor? The path of practice seeks not perfection, but perseverance, a daily renewal of commitment to shed layers of deception. Let this step resonate as we press onward, carrying the tools of contemplation and purification toward a deeper communion, where the soul readies itself to surrender fully to the divine essence it has begun to perceive. As the rewards of practice come to fruition, the Corpus Hermeticum reveals the third and most transformative step of spiritual awakening: surrender. This marks the pinnacle of the journey, where the soul, having recognized its divine essence and cleansed itself through reflection, finally lets go of the last traces of separation to blend with the One, the infinite source of all that is. Within the Hermetic texts, this union is portrayed as a return, a sacred homecoming to the eternal mind from which we were never truly apart. The ego, that stubborn mirage of individuality, evaporates like dew beneath the rising sun, unveiling the timeless reality. We are the divine, and the divine is woven into us. Picture standing atop a towering peak, the world stretching endlessly below, yet feeling no boundary between yourself and the limitless heavens. Such is surrender, not a diminishing, but a liberation, where the self flows into cosmic awareness, becoming one with the pulse of the universe. The Corpus Hermeticum, especially in its reflections on the nature of the all, describes this state as the ultimate awakening. It is insufficient to merely comprehend the divine or to meditate upon it. The seeker must yield completely, allowing the walls of I and mine to fall away. This act of surrender blends daring with repose, a bold release of all that once shaped our identity. The texts depict this union as a realm of pure balance, where the soul aligns with the universal flow, moving in harmony with the rise and fall of creation. To dwell in this space is to embody serenity, to discern the divine touch in every leaf, every tempest, every fleeting instant. The trials of the material realm lose their sharpness, understood as mere ripples across the surface of an endless sea. Have you ever known a moment of such deep connection, where the limits of self seem to fade? What keeps you from this complete immersion into the embrace of the One? Though the final step in this sequence, surrender is less an endpoint and more a gateway to living in eternal truth. The Corpus Hermeticum suggests that those who attain this state become guiding lights, their existence mirroring the divine accord they have touched. In the centuries following the Common Era, such enlightened souls were often revered as sages or mystics, inspiring others toward the same freedom. Their mere presence could awaken a spark in another, a quiet witness to the power of merging with the One. As we abide in this sacred realm, let the essence of surrender seep into your core. Reflect on the barriers still lingering within, and envision them dissolving into brilliance. This step completes the triad of consciousness, practice, and surrender. Yet the soul's odyssey ever unfolds, drawing us into mysteries yet to be revealed. Let us now shift to the tangible, exploring how these ancient steps shed light on the path you tread today. With the 3 steps of spiritual awakening laid bare through the wisdom of the Corpus Hermeticum, consciousness, practice, and surrender, the moment arrives to turn the gaze inward. These teachings, though forged in the sands of ancient Alexandria, thrum with meaning for our modern search for purpose. Each step weaves into the next, crafting a sacred spiral that pulls the soul ever closer to its divine center. Let us revisit them with renewed perspective, seeing them not as distant aspirations, but as vital signposts on your unique path. Imagine yourself as a wanderer through unseen domains, pausing at each marker to gauge your place. Consciousness stirs you to the divine ember within, unveiling the material world as a transient illusion. Practice sharpens this insight through reflection and cleansing, stripping away the ego's veils. Surrender, the ultimate ascent, fuses your essence with the One, erasing all division. Where do you stand within these phases? Is your spirit awakening with the first flickers of recognition? Or are you immersed in the silent toil of inner purification? Or perhaps hovering on the brink of utter release? To identify your stage is not to pass judgment, but to invite deeper clarity. The Corpus Hermeticum lays down no strict decrees, only timeless truths to steer the seeker. If consciousness resonates with you, seek out moments of wonder in the everyday. Gaze at the night sky and let its vastness stir something within. If practice defines your current effort, create havens of calm, even amid turmoil, to meditate on the unity binding all existence. And if surrender calls, dare to let go of the final threads of self, trusting in the boundless peace that lies beyond. These steps are not a straight line. They twist and intertwine, at times pulling you backward before thrusting you ahead. In the spirit of Hermetic thought, ponder the echoes of these ideas across cultures. Ancient Egyptian mystics, Greek thinkers, and even far-off Eastern traditions share glimpses of this awakening, each lending a distinct shade to the universal reality. Might there be an unseen cord linking these paths? A common whisper of the divine mind spanning civilizations? Such musings kindle the mystic's flame, urging us to venture beyond the familiar. The Corpus Hermeticum itself, enduring through centuries of upheaval, bears witness to the timeless thirst for gnosis. Scholars of the Renaissance, in the 14th and 15th centuries, rediscovered these writings, finding in them a bridge between ancient insight and spiritual yearning. Their impact shaped alchemy, philosophy, and hidden traditions, proving that the call to awakening defies the bounds of time. How does this venerable wisdom echo in your life today? Do practices or beliefs from your own path reflect these 3 steps? Let this introspection serve as a beacon, illuminating not just your current place, but the unseen trails ahead. Share in the comments which of these stages feels most alive in your spirit at this moment, and why. As we rest in this space of self-discovery, let us plunge even deeper into the Hermetic teachings, uncovering how they can guide us through the tangled maze of modern existence. As the wisdom of the Corpus Hermeticum continues to unfurl, we stand not at a close, but at a gateway to profound application. These ancient insights, conceived in a world of sacred scrolls and hallowed temples, carry a striking relevance for our rushed, fragmented lives. The 3 steps of spiritual awakening, consciousness, practice, and surrender, are not artifacts to be observed from a distance, but instruments to wield in the present. Envision walking through a crowded city, yet holding within you the tranquility of a desert hermit, attuned to the divine rhythm beneath the clamor. This is the gift of the hermetic path, to transmute the mundane into a canvas for the eternal. Let us explore how each step can ground us amid contemporary tempests. To live in consciousness now means to pause within endless diversions, to perceive the divine not solely in towering sanctuaries or serene woods, but in the ordinary, a stranger's brief smile, the cadence of your own breath. It is a subtle defiance of a world that thrives on disconnection. Practice, the second stride, grows even more crucial in an era of ceaseless stimulation. The Corpus Hermeticum champions contemplation, and though we may lack the quiet retreats of ancient initiates, we can forge inner refuges. A few stolen moments at daybreak, or in the hush of a late night, can transform into your sanctuary, where you reflect on the all, sensing the unity that threads through every fragment of reality. Purification, too, gains fresh weight as we cast off not only personal ego, but the shared delusions of materialism and rivalry that saturate our culture. Surrender, the deepest plunge, challenges us to relinquish control in a society fixated on grasping it. To meld with the One is to trust in the hidden order, even when life's turbulence feels insurmountable. Have you noticed how moments of surrender, perhaps in embracing what cannot be altered, usher in an unexpected calm? The Hermetic texts murmur that this is the divine balance seeping into your essence, aligning you with the cosmic flow. Beyond individual transformation, these teachings ripple outward, shaping how we engage with the world. In the centuries after their inception, Hermetic principles inspired healers, thinkers, and seekers to live in equilibrium with nature and spirit. Today, they might urge us to rethink our bond with the earth, to view it as a living extension of the divine, worthy of deep respect. They could also inspire us to approach others with the awareness that we share a common essence, dissolving walls of fear or prejudice. What might shift in your life if you saw every encounter as a convergence of divine sparks? These reflections are merely a starting point, for the Corpus Hermeticum is a well of unending depth, offering fresh insights with each revisit. If these mysteries have awakened something within you, I encourage you to explore these ancient texts firsthand, letting their words shape your journey. Share in the comments which of these steps feels most pressing for you to delve into further, and why. Continue this sacred exploration with us by diving into other videos on the channel, where we unearth hidden truths and forgotten wisdom. Let this be not a conclusion, but a gentle step forward on the eternal path of awakening.